Hello, everybody. Um, yes, if you clicked on this video, I'm not BSing you, okay? I have no course to sell you. You probably don't know me. And you know what? Screw it. I made 34 ideas that you've never heard of, I guarantee you, for how to sell money, or I'm sorry, how to make money online remotely. And I'm not going to lie, some of them are good and some of them are bad. And some of them are morally good and some of them are way worse. But I put them all in here. And you know what? Some people would probably turn this into 10 videos and milk the most money for it. I'm honestly too lazy to do that. So if you got any value out of this, please subscribe. I don't know what else to say. Um, Hopefully, if these are valuable ideas, it will get some views and make me some money. Not that I really care about money that much. Just kidding, I do. But anyways, let's let me share my ideas. I want to explain a little bit about my ideas. And I'm sorry if I'm boring you, but I have spent maybe 3 years now compiling these ideas. I've wanted to work remotely or be a digital nomad for like 3 years now, and that's been like my kind of dream, or maybe 2 years. I don't know. But ever since then, anything that comes to my mind, I write it down. But this isn't ChatGPT. This isn't me just sitting down and writing a bunch of baloney ideas. These are a bunch of good ideas that came naturally that I wrote down and took months to think of. That just, I think those are the best ideas personally. So you guys are getting to see all like 3 years of me putting business ideas together. So let's just go into this. All right. So number one, work for a YouTube channel. All right. So if you're good at editing, if you're good at script writing, I actually just finished a script today for a YouTube channel. We'll see if that comes to fruition. But if you're good at sound design, or honestly anything that has to do with making a YouTube video, you can work for a YouTube channel. One place that's not talked about a lot that some people don't know about is youtubejobs.com. And as you can see, oh, okay, wait. I'm sorry. I got about a 5 million subscriber channel reached out to me. So that was cool. And if you go here, go to jobs, and there's all types. All of these jobs are remote, and if you animate, you can get a job if you do a lot of things. Like this one says $1,500 to $3,000. Now, guess what? You're probably not going to make that much. I don't know. I don't know how this woman is paying that much, but okay, actually, so their niche is making money online. So okay, researching scripting. Dang, I should apply to that one. So, okay, if your YouTube niche is making money in any way, like anything around finance or making money, then you're going to get paid like 10 $15 RPM, which is crazy. Part of why I'm making this video, actually. See, at least I'm honest with you, although I'm not like a money goblin. I just, I wanted to try this out, right? But a long form YouTube content creator, 1,500 to 3,000 per project. I'm actually going to keep that open. So check out YouTube Jobs. I mean, honestly, working for a YouTube channel covers a lot of things, if I'm being honest with you. Let's see. They're all I mean, you could even be, if you're a brand manager, you could work for a YouTube channel. There are actually, let me just look real quick, right? Jobs. So, okay, here are the categories. So, try and see if you have any of these skills, or you could see you getting one of these skills. Video editor, creative director, thumbnail designer. That's a big one. Channel manager, YouTube strategist, script writer, YouTube producer. So that's number one. Number two is, these are all ideas I made. Make short form ads for advertisers on TikTok. This is called the TikTok Creative Challenge. Okay, so yes, there's the thing called the TikTok Creative Challenge. And, basically, you have to meet certain metrics with your TikTok profile. So you're going to have to build your account up to about either 5 or 10,000 subscribers, I think. Or, I'm sorry, followers. All right, so number 2 requires a TikTok account. So, with a certain amount of followers, that might not be ideal for everybody. But number 3 is something that you could do as a business. And this is my idea, to become a remote job employment agency. So basically work on LinkedIn, find people that have remote jobs already, and kind of be the connections person, there's always that person that has the connections that can get the thing to happen. So people, once you build enough connections in enough industries through LinkedIn, you could kind of become like a coach or an agent where people, because there's a high demand for remote jobs, very high demand. Like, there's a low supply and a high demand. Everybody wants a remote job now. So, you could be the person to get people hired. Telling people. So yeah. Now you could do it through connections and kind of like that, and putting in a good word for people because you have the right connections. You could go that route, or you could go the route of just coaching people on what skills they need to be hireable. However, don't just take people's money. Like, actually, you have to actually have been able to get these jobs before remotely. Like, unless you want to be a jerk. But, like, I would say actually coach people on something you know how to do. Like, don't just, tell them what you think they gotta do. So, yeah, you could either get paid hourly, or you can make an agreement that they'll pay you a flat rate once you get them hired. Okay, so there's a remote job. Sell the... What is it called? Whatever. Sell the what? Sell the pickaxes? No? Sell the tools? All right, whatever. Number 4, private tutoring online for any skill set that you have. So maybe you're a producer, maybe you play piano. You could teach your skills online. You could run Facebook ads for virtual piano lessons, and there are apps that you can help people connect so that you can see what your client is playing on the piano, and it gets sent to you, or you can just have them set up a webcam or singing lessons. There are a lot of skills that if you have that skill, then you can just teach people the skill. I would recommend trying to start a business. Actually, something that would kind of fall under this is if you have a good physique, I would recommend being a physical trainer, because you do know how to get in good shape. If you are in good shape yourself, probably, you might not be an expert, but I mean, then the bridge to close is pretty short. Just take some type of course, or read up on it, and you can close the bridge, because you already have the fitness for most of the bridge. You just need to close your knowledge gap a little bit, and you can become a physical trainer. That's a great job too. There are also websites where you can sign up to teach your um, skills, and usually I have examples, but for this one I forgot to give an example, but I'm certain that there are websites. Um, Now, I'm thinking of a dedicated website for that, but I'm sure that there's also a website like at the end of, worst comes to worst, you could use Upwork, which is Upwork is not exactly ideal for freelancers, but anyways. Number 5, become a travel agent for retired old men who want to retire in another country. So, you know, what the way I see that you could do this to make a remote income is, if you're passionate about a certain country and you want to help, you know, older men or women retire in a different country. I say men because most women don't want to retire in a different country. But you could make a niche YouTube channel where you just talk about travel things geared towards that country. Talk about the pros and cons, costs, all types of things. Talk about, everything about that country of your expertise. And now you'll get an audience of people that are interested in actually moving there or retiring there. And then because they trust you and you've built up repertoire with them, you can offer services where you can build a plan, a budget, um, plan out their retirement funds, budget their retirement income. Um, you know, you'll know the cost of housing and everything. Just help these people kind of be like a travel planner, but also financial planner for their retirement. As an added bonus, an older demographic will pay a higher RPM in ad revenue. Um, okay, I wrote more on top of Zucchini. So yeah, like example, why the city is cheaper than America. Videos like that, or have your link in bio for the services. So the services that you could offer could be like a travel agent, an accountant, with their retirement income, uh, a dating coach, a researcher, for where to live, where to settle down. That's catered to them. You could take their budget and tell them where they can retire with a pros and cons list. And once they've already used your services, your one-time services, you could get a steady income from being a person that they can consult. All right, number 6, become a general travel planner. So, make a niched but not as specific YouTube channel about your own traveling. Then, with an audience that's captivated by traveling, start talking about how to travel on a budget. So, you can market your travel planning as paying for services. So, basically, you could market it as, if you pay for my travel planning services, I will save you $500 more or some number than the amount that you would spend without me. Or you could target rich people who just don't care about saving money, but just want to go on trips that are luxurious without having to worry about the details, right? Uh, and so they just tell you what type of trip you want to go on, and you just do all of that grunt work of turning their dream into reality. So just be like booking stuff, ensuring everything goes smoothly, creating a travel itinerary, um, giving them ideas for where to go, stuff like that. So yes, a good remote job that would also be kind of fun could be a travel planner. And if you put some work into it, I think that it'd be doable to do that. Especially if you paired it with a YouTube channel. All right, number 7, start a business to be a travel planner who takes people on trips in groups. So I've actually seen this firsthand. Um, it's absolutely crazy. So what people do is they plan a trip and then maybe they go on one trip and they take footage of it and they make it look fun. And they plan this trip and then they spend money on Instagram and TikTok ads. And they market it as, do you not want to travel alone? Then travel with us. And these people all travel in a big group of about like 15 people, and they travel all around. Like oh, a Thailand trip, or oh, we're going to Indonesia or something. Places where people wouldn't want to travel alone if they're new to traveling. So they market it towards them, and it's really interesting because I know there's somebody out there who just wants to travel, and they probably just assemble this group of people, and these people all pay them, and there's enough extra money that this guy pays himself, or this woman, or whoever the F it is, they pay for themselves too, so that they can have enough money to live off of, and also for all the work they do, because it's not going to be easy managing 15 people if you think about it, if you're traveling in a group. So, but yeah, people pay for a deposit. There's a flat rate for the trip, but you do all of this stuff yourself. The service you're offering is basically making it so that people can travel easier and more enjoyably, and they can just focus on having fun. And you're going to be focusing on, you know, keeping people happy, the safety of their trip. Um, if there's anything that goes wrong, you got to have good skills to what's the word? You got to be able to think like right there and then. Um, I forgot what the phrase I'm trying to look for is, but good improv skills with that. You got to be improvisational. So maybe a stressful job, maybe a rewarding job, an adventurous job. Of course, I'd say that's kind of partly remote, and then the other part is travel. But at the same time, it still solves the problem that you have, which is you want to travel and work, right? Well, now you can travel and work because your job is traveling with a bunch of people. It sounds kind of fun though, right? Number 8, find an existing niche business website and offer to partner with them to create a drop shipping store. So this is an idea I had. So, vet the samples of the products. So you're not just selling some baloney, all right? Only sell good products. And an example would be like, let's say that you found a good dog breeder that has a lot of customers. So you could create a high quality print on demand shop with pet items, and then so basically you're tapping into an existing customer base, and you're making both the person who acquired such customer base and yourself more money than both of you otherwise would have. So in a way, it's kind of a win-win. So, this is my idea, right? Like you partner, you cold email some type of niche business, and you ask them if they got a list of customers, and if they do, make some type of store that caters to those customers, and now you can sell with the brand of the business as kind of backing you. So, the concept you could do in your cold email outreach is also like you can make a concept of the shop website and send it to them and be like, "Hey, would you want to do this?" Um, so yeah, make a legal agreement about how much that you both would, what percentages would be, and it should be easy because of the loyal customer base. So yeah, you could run the shop from the internet, and then you could also do this multiple times. So you could have multiple shops that you were running that catered to individual businesses' customer base. So like, all right, let's go back to my example. So the example of what I'm talking about is, let's say you found and for all of for anybody that's offended, okay, ethical dog breeder, right? Somebody who just, a good person. Um, so you find a big ethical dog breeder. Okay, don't get mad at me. And they have a lot of customers. They know all of those customers. So you build a shop with print-on-demand products of a collar. You sell cute collars that have the name of, the dog's name, and also the brand name of the dog breeder. Sometimes dog breeders do have brands, believe it or not. Um, Dog bowls. And this is like, people would feel almost more comfortable buying from this established brand because it's like, oh, this is the official, thing that we recommend. Now, if you go this route, do not sell your customers garbage, okay? Don't sell them some crap from, like, listen, everything is from China, okay? But just don't sell them some crappy stuff from China. Sell them, actually look through, get samples of the products and make sure that you're not going to be giving people like garbage, because there's good stuff from China too. Your iPhone came from China, right? So, yeah. All right, number 9. Become a YouTube market researcher. So, what is the biggest wave of demand lately in YouTube? People constantly asking what's popping, what should I make a YouTube video on, what's big right now, what's going to get me views, right? And so that is a huge amount of demand. You need to come up with some supply, because if you do, well, you don't need to. What I'm saying is, if you come up with some supply, then you'll make a lot of money because there's a huge amount of demand. Every time I go into the partnered YouTube subreddit, which is a subreddit of, or actually YouTubers subreddit, they're two YouTube subreddits. But anyways, and I'm not a Redditor, okay? I'm sorry. Anytime I go into these, I always see people asking, man, what is popping right now? What is big right now? What does everyone want to watch? So to answer this demand, you would become a YouTube market researcher. So people want to know what is worth the most amount of time and effort to put in their videos. So if you can become an expert in YouTube and content market research, then you would never ever run out of clients. Okay? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how to become an expert in YouTube/content market research, but I do know some tools that could put you in the right direction. And these are not sponsors, just tools that I've found. Answerthepublic.com, Google Trends, and BuzzSumo.com. So I think those would be a good start on becoming a YouTube market researcher. All right, I'm going to read 11 up to 11 because I'm actually getting a bit tired, and then I'm going to make another video I know I said that I wouldn't do this, but this video is also getting long. Um, and I don't know if I can. I don't want to become tired of talking, so I'm sorry. Because then here's the thing: if I push myself too much with talking for too long, you guys won't get as high of quality explanations for my ideas, because eventually I'll just get so tired that I'll be slugging through it, and I won't even be like trying as much as I should, and explaining things is like you guys will get less value. That's basically the point. All right, number 10, become a voice actor and work remotely. This one's kind of crazy. This one's definitely on the harder side, but it's not, it's not easy, but if you have a unique voice, you could move to a cheaper country and find work on Upwork. I do have a portable mic set up. So basically, let me explain what my setup is. I have a Shure SM7B. I'm pretty sure it's called a Triton Cloud Lifter. Okay? So I take a cord, XLR connects to SM7B. XLR then goes to the Triton Cloud Lifter. And then what plugs into that is the Shure MX. I'm sorry. Okay, so then what plugs into that Triton is a Shure MVX2U. Okay? I'm giving you guys my cheat codes. This took a lot of research to find a mobile setup. Why did I go with mobile setup? Because just in case I ever want to travel, if I'm successful on YouTube and still make videos, then I will certainly be able to do that with this small setup. And then if you're wondering, I also have a little tiny tripod, and believe it or not, it does hold the SM7B and it works fine. The thing about the SM7B is you might be going, what? You don't have a studio. That's true. However, first of all, there are foldable studios that you could bring in a suitcase. However, if you're like me and you like saving money on flights, and you're a minimalist, and I'm kind of a minimalist, and you kind of don't want to lug around luggage, especially because it can get freaking lost, which is my biggest concern. Well, the thing about the SM7B is that somehow it's extremely good at only picking up what's directly in front of it. That's what makes it really incredible. You could be in a concrete room, and it would otherwise sound like complete echoes. But if you have the settings right with the SM7B, you can actually get away with speaking directly in the mic, and it won't sound echoey. So, preparing a room doesn't matter as much with the SM7B. I will say that. So you could definitely travel and work remotely as a voice actor. It wouldn't be exactly easy, but it's definitely doable, and I've actually seen somebody do it before. All right, number 11. Oh, by the way, one last thing. The Shure MVX2U is really awesome because an XLR just goes right into it. It's like this tiny little thing, right? Oh, by the way, I forgot to say this. All of this, including the tripod, fits in a little carrying case this big, and I could put that in a carry-on. So the Triton. The thing about the Triton is what outputs is USB-C, so I can plug this thing directly into my laptop. It's awesome, and I don't need to carry around a big, clunky Scarlett. No offense, Scarlett. All right, number 11. Become a YouTube ad sponsor. Read copywriter. I think this is highly in demand. and you could just market your expertise in being a copywriter and ad writer. I think a lot of YouTubers definitely don't trust AI enough for their money, for their ad reads. I mean, this is like the most important thing to them, right? Because this is their bread and butter. So I think that there is a market for becoming a sponsor ad read writer. You could reach out to YouTube channels via cold email. And it's probably a pretty profitable niche to get into because if you think about it, if a YouTuber has a sponsor, trust me, I know firsthand, not because I've gotten a sponsor, but because I've worked for channels that talk about it, is they make a lot of money from those sponsors, like a lot. So, they definitely have enough money to pay you. And here's the thing is YouTube sponsor reads often come with a list of requirements that you need to fit. If you didn't get educated in that way, it might be hard to write a sponsor read that fits all of those requirements. They are getting more complex as time's gone by. The brands are demanding more, and they want you to meet all of those metrics in order. They'll have a paper that they give you. And they'll tell you exactly what they want in their sponsor read. And oftentimes, it is really tricky to write a script that includes all of those things, including images, phrases, calls to action. There are a lot of things that they really want you to do, which if you're, a lot of people, whether they're intelligent or not, simply don't feel like creating all of that. It can be difficult and complex. So yeah, the ad read has specific required phrases, selling points, calls to action, and this gives YouTubers headaches, and they make a lot of money from the read, so they'd probably be more than willing enough to pay to go through all of this. All right, guys, so that's it for now. I'm going to make another video because I'm a little tired of talking. And I want to give you guys the best explanation of the ideas that I've come up with. So, I'm not asking for anything in return for these ideas. So, because you guys are watching ads, probably. I don't care if you do or not. What I'm saying is, of course it's free. I mean, dude, I just want to give you guys value, okay? All I ask is subscribe. If you want to. So I hope you guys have a good day, and thanks for watching. Peace.